And we're going to go to some stretching. Let's come out on the front edge of the chair, and we're going to do some stretching in the back of the thighs and the back. Let's do a backward shoulder circle on one side, backward shoulder circle on the other side. A deep breath in and blowing out through the mouth. Bring one heel out, change the angle. Bring one heel out. So I'm on the front edge of the chair. Everybody join in if you can. So I've got one straight knee and I'm on the heel. I'm pulling the toes back toward my face. And what I want to do is give like 85% of my full effort for a stretch here in the back of the leg. So I'll take a breath in, and then it's at the hips. I'll hinge at the hips as I blow out and lean forward. And I'm going to see if I can find a place for my hands on my shin or my toes. Let the neck relax. Let your head fall toward that leg. And again, it shouldn't hurt. It's just finding your comfortable stretch. But keeping the toes pulled toward your face. So you're getting the whole posterior chain, it's called. Another breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. See if you can fold a little farther at the hip. A little more stretch. And then we're going to just bring the hands up. We'll lift part way. The hands end up somewhere near the knee. We're going to bring one hand out and then turn the head, turn the body. Watch that hand with your eyes and down, doing a back strengthener. Other side, hand out, watching that hand down. And then for a more back strength, or have the palms face each other, reach down, lift till your arms are kind of up near your chin, and then use your back muscles to bring you all the way up. And then we're going to bring the hands down to the chair, and we're going to put the heel of your hand on your chair, grab on. We're going to lift that leg. So now you have one leg down. So this foot's going to help you out. We're going to see if we can lift ourselves off the chair. Maybe give a little extra lift of the belly coming out, back over the chair and down. So this is a great bone density exercise and core exercise. Hips forward, back over the chair and down. And then let's just lift that knee, reach around, give a pull. So all that pressure in the wrists, slow lowering, is good for bone density. On that, when we do it on this other side, you don't have to lift your whole body. Any pressure into the wrists, maybe you're like this, so you've got your whole core contracting, but you can just give 10 pounds of pressure and feel that force into the wrist bones, which is what we were trying to work on, the forearm and the wrist. Let's start with the stretch. Heel out, straight knee, toes pulling back towards your face, a breath in. As you breathe out, fold over. Kind of going for 85% of your full stretch. So it's not painful, but it's stretching. Another breath in, a breath out, and fold a little further. Neck relaxes. So your chin just falls towards your leg. And then we'll just slide those hands back up toward the knee. And then we get a little effort to straighten the back, clench the belly. One hand's going to come out. We're going to watch it go up. You can feel the shoulder and back muscles working. We'll go to the other side. Watch that hand go up and down. And then we reach both hands forward, palms face each other, lift. When you're reaching straight ahead, then use your back muscles to bring your whole trunk up. And we're going to bring the hands down and grab the chair. And we're going to lift that leg. So we've got, starting with the core there, a light push on the hands. And if your wrists and your shoulders are okay, you could lift your whole body up with the help of that flat foot on the ground. And maybe slide the belly forward a little and coming back. And then sliding forward a little and coming back. And then we'll lower, and we're going to lift that leg and pull it up. Now, very gracefully, we're going to keep that knee up. We'll bring our arms out and slowly lower it to the ground. Now we're going to arch the back. Hands coming up, or you could do this with your arms at your sides or arms overhead, but we like to kind of gaze up and give the back an arch after all that bending forward. And then we'll bring the hands to the side and we'll come over and tap and give a big reach toward the ceiling. Over to the other side, a tap and a big reach. I'm going to scoot forward or scoot backward in the chair a bit. Now we have to like make friends with our wrists after all that. So we're going to start by circling in the wrists. Lift the heart, clench the belly. So your trunk is working. We're going to open and close firmly. We'll bring the front hands to the front and out to the sides. I'm opening and closing, then I'm going to go palms up, palms forward, down, and back. Now I'm being nice to my shoulders by getting that full rotation in the arm. After that pressure of pushing on the chair, the shoulders usually feel that also. And then let's take a breath in and out. I'm going to bring the hands to the front, a little more finger and wrist attention. So gluing the soles of, or the palms of my hands together, especially the wrists. Clenching my belly. Raise your shoulders, then lower the shoulders. We want to keep the shoulders lowered and the neck long. And we'll go side to side. Get a stretch. Then we're going to bring the elbow in. I'm going to have my palm toward the ceiling. I'm going to bring my fingers across those fingers. And then I'm going to straighten my elbow and pull back and down. So I end up with a straight arm, an extended wrist, and extended fingers. I'm going to let my wrist go, bring it up again. Extend fingertips crossing on top, or fingers crossing on top of the other fingers, and then we straighten and come down for a type of stretch. Let's go to the other side. Elbows in, extend your wrist, fingers on top, straighten the elbow, pull back on the fingers, and come down. We'll bring that in again, bring that hand out, other one on top, come out and down. It's a way of getting a stretch. Interlace, elbows forward, a push for a nice stretch. We're going to turn to one side and the other side. Shoulders staying down so the neck stays relaxed. And then we're going to interlace the fingers the other way. So we bring the other forefinger closer and then elbows forward, shoulders stay down, pressing forward, and we'll do a rotation which involves the stomach. Okay, let's bring that in and open and close. So it's just some very good work for the fingers. And we want to go to some abdominal work, and I do want to finish with some music at the end for a little more lower body work and coordination. So let's come to the front edge of the chair. You can bring your hands here for moderate effort, or up like this for a more maximum effort. Clench your belly, straighten the back as though there's a steel pole in your spine. I'm on the very front edge of the chair, and I'm going to slowly lean back till my shoulder blades barely touch, and then I'm going to come back up and finish that motion leaning to the front. Straight back, slow it down, coming to the chair, a lift up, and leaning down, coming back to the center. This time when I go back, I'm going to stay there. So re-straightening my back, and I'm going to lean back and stay there. And go ahead and bring the arms down. And then I'm going to take one leg, give a knee lift, clench the belly, and straighten. I'm going to reach behind and see if I could lift it a little more with the help of my arms. Clench the belly. I'm going to take my hands away, see if it can stay there a little higher. Then I'm going to bend and straighten, keeping your belly clenched and bending and straightening. A third time, bend and straighten. And then I'm going to bend and give a pull to give a stretch and a nice biceps contraction. And we'll come down. Let's go to the other side. Lift, straighten, pull it up, clench the belly, and see if you can keep it there as we bend and straighten, bend and straighten, bend, straighten, and then keep it bent, and we'll give a pull and let it slowly and in a controlled way go to the ground. We're going to do our double leg lift with a belly breath. So inhale through your nose, letting your belly expand. Blow out through the mouth and compress the belly. We're going to lift both legs about 4 inches. Make sure your neck is relaxed so your head can dip a little forward. We're going to lift one leg a little bit, lift the other leg a little bit, lift one and the other, and then both, a little pulse. And we'll lower them to the floor. A breath in, a breath out. And we're going to point the toes, give a knee lift, and come onto the tippy toes. Clench the belly, and we're going to scissor in this position. Pointed toes. If you need to tap down, you can, but just some sustained belly contraction, supporting the full weight of your legs. And we'll bring that down. We're going to come up. Moderate effort here, maximum effort here. Like there's a steel pole in your back. Ugh. Really clench those muscles coming up. Let's bring the hands here. And we're going to fling the arms back to kind of relax in here. So flinging, looking back and forward and back. Forward, a fling, and a fling. And let's more relaxation. Flat back, elbows back, lean down, stretching in the seat. Tuck the chin, pull in the belly, curl up, unroll to come up. And again, leaning down. Pull in the belly and curl and unroll. Okay, and we're going to go to bands now, which are great for grip, bone density, and overall getting greater muscle mass. So for some people may not be going to that part, and you could also do these exercises without a band, especially if you have any kind of shoulder, elbow, or wrist problem. Let's do 5 deep breaths to send off anybody who's not staying, and then we'll start with the elastic bands. So palms forward, shoulders wide, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 5 deep breaths. And get the neck to relax by circling and wiggling. And then those of you that are staying, we're going to start standing with the bands. So we'll kind of go to the side of the chair. Okay, just one moment. I have to get my piece of paper. Okay, so what we haven't done so much yet is a back lunge. So we'll incorporate some of those. Okay, so we're gonna start with the hands about as wide as your hips. And you want to be sure you have room behind you. So I'm going to move my chair a little forward, and I'm going to step back to the ball of my foot, so that reaching back, and then I'm going to bend both knees. And on that front leg, I want to feel the weight, either the center of my foot or the heel. And then I'm just going to bring the band forward. You can see my hands are a little wider than my shoulders. I'm going to pull out and bring the hands into cross. Now, all of these are possible seated. We've already done some lunges and stomping and everything. So if you need to be seated, that works fine for all of these band exercises. So we're pulling and then crossing in the front. Pull and cross. And then I'm going to just relax my arms, and I'm going to step forward. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. And I'm going to do some more of those with the other leg to the back. So other leg, I'm going to come back to the ball of the foot. And then I'm going to bend both knees. Hands are a little wider than my shoulders. And then as I do this, I actually pull my arms back behind me. I'm really strengthening in the upper back with this. And the cross is to stretch in the upper back. And to pull back. And I'll try to cross the other arm on top, kind of alternating each time. A pull and a cross. A pull, just one more of those, and a cross. And then I'm going to step forward and take a breath in and a breath out. Now I'm going to bring it over, step behind your chair, because we're going to be doing a side lunge. But I'm going to make a loop and bring it over my head and across my back. So below the neck, across the back. And then I'm going to scooch my hands in. And you can see my palms are forward, my thumbs are right next to my shoulders. And I'm going to do a side lunge. I think I'll go that way to start with. So just up like you're stepping over a cat, up, out, and then a lean. Move this so you can see me better. And so the perfect side lunge, I look, my hip was sticking out, so I adjusted that. Maybe you can see yourself, but you want your foot, your hip, your shoulder all to be aligned. So like in one straight vertical line, okay? And then just, we want most of the weight on that bent knee. So straight knee on toward the center, bent knee on the side. And then I'm just gonna push right out and in. Straightening my elbows fully and back in. So this, you can feel your grip working. You can feel that pressure into the wrists and the fingers. All the way, and you straighten the elbows all the way, that's when you really get the triceps. Now I'm just going to come back to the center. Maybe shake that leg out a little. And I'm going to lunge to the other side. And it's like kind of an up and over. If you step too far, adjust in, because you don't want your hip and your shoulder to be left over here. You want to be right out over that. Both toes faced forward. I have my thumbs kind of right up near my shoulders, belly in, and I'm going to push straight out. I want to feel plenty of force into that hip where the bent knee is. Fully straightening the elbows to really get the triceps to firmly contract, and kind of a slow, controlled release. So you get, it's that time that the muscle's under tension that helps to build the muscle. Okay, and now we're going to spring back to the center. Okay, and we're going to bring this over. We're going to do a new exercise. It's more of a quickness and coordination exercise, a little bit of hip strength. So we're going to straighten both arms. You may want to watch me with this the first time. And I'm not reaching forward, I'm staying up straight, but holding my arms out a little. And I'm just going to spring my knee up against that band. So that quick kind of a push off with pointing the toe. So up and into the band. So you have to balance, have some quick movement, and then we can go over to the other side. We could practice a few times, pointing the toe, getting a little lift, and when you're ready, all the way up into the band. So a nice quick strengthener, coordination. If you needed to sprint, this would be a good sprinting exercise. Okay, now, only for those who have never injured their shoulder, we're going to do a stretch with rotation. But if you've ever dislocated your shoulder or broken your collarbone or broken your shoulder, just skip this one. We're going to bring it up and down to around behind and up and down to the front. And what you feel with this is an extra bit of shoulder rotation, a way of keeping the shoulders fully mobile, but it's a lot of force into the joint itself, the collarbone, with the shoulder complex and everything. So it's only for those with a healthy shoulder. Okay, we're going to do some side bends. So for these, you have your choice. You know, when you have an injured shoulder, you really shouldn't reach overhead. So if you have an injured shoulder, or, you know, even if it was 20 years ago, leave your band here. If your shoulders are okay, you can go overhead. We're going to contract the belly and do a side bend. The advantage to having your hands up a little as you do this is about 30 pounds of extra weight with the arms overhead for your belly muscles to lift as you go side to side. It's a great way to strengthen some of the abdominal muscles. Now we're going to go behind the back. And let's lunge forward for this exercise. So I just have this right around my waist there. And now you may want your chair nearby. And you'd be standing kind of a little behind the back leg of your chair. You could put one hand on the chair, especially if you're kind of wondering how this first lunge is going to work out. And we're going to take this leg forward. So it's like you're stepping over a cat or a dog forward, and then we'll bend to both knees. Okay. Check the weight in your front foot, that it's more toward the heel, not so much on the toe. And we're just going to push straight out to the sides. And then once we have the arms straight, we're going to flap, bringing forward and then out. And this is to work on the front of the chest. So slowly in, slowly back out, and slowly in, and slowly back out. Let's come forward and then bend the elbows some and see if we can come back up. So just remember, you could use your hand on your chair if you feel it all insecure. And then we're going to lunge forward with the other leg. Again, you could have a hand for the chair if you feel like that's what you need. Some people that have been coming to class for several years feel pretty confident in the lunge. If you're newer, it's a new thing. And then we'll come out. We're going to do that again. And again, bend both knees. Feel the front foot, the weight toward the heel. And we'll come in and out. So I'm kind of thinking 3 counts in, 3 counts out, 3 counts in, and out. So slow in both directions. And out. And then I just bring this in. I'm going to free up a hand in case you could free up a hand in case you need it. And we'll come back. And we'll shake the legs. Whew. Okay. One more exercise that we want to do, we're going to plie for. So that is toes out, separating and bending, some impulses. Keep your elbows in and then lower and push forward to a straight elbow. So let's get some of the chest muscles. Straighten the elbow all the way. Slow return. Slowly out. A slow return. And slowly out. And just leave the elbows there. And let's straighten one leg and then the other to relieve some tension in the thighs. And also very good for the knees. And back to center, kind of lower your seat however much you can. And then what we're going to do, elbows are going to stay at the side. We're going to rotate both hands out. And then into cross, both hands out. And this is a way to work on the rotator muscles of the shoulder, stretching and contracting. Important shoulder muscles for shoulder stability. Okay. And we'll just come like this, and we're going to step back together, shake the legs out, and we're going to finish with one seated exercise. So go ahead, come to the front of the chair, feel that chair behind your knees, stick your seat out, lower with control, Also drape this for a minute. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let's open and close the hands as we do a backward arm circle. Been gripping that rope for a long time. Circling the wrists. There's been a lot of pressure into the wrists. Now we're going to bring that band over. We do a biceps exercise, which we really haven't done yet. So you're going to be seated firmly in your chair. You could even be toward the back of your chair. And we're going to make a little loop here. We're going to lift, put that loop under the arch of your foot, and then straighten your knee all the way forward. Elbows are straight. So check in with the elbows. It should have some tension in the band. And what we're going to do is pull the elbows straight back and then down. So this, as you bend your elbows, it uses the biceps. And if you pull your elbows back an extra inch, you really use the upper back, the postural muscles that hold your posture, your upper back really upright. And a pull and get that extra inch, a slow release. Pull, elbows back. And we go to a fully straight elbow, back, really pulling the elbows back. And then with some control, we're going to bend that knee, a lift, unloop, lift, arch of the other foot. Fully straight knee, lift the heart, belly is clenched, facing straight forward with a straight back, and then we just pull those elbows back, even that last inch of pull, and then we'll fully straighten. And it's a slow count, pulling back, get the extra inch, and then to straighten, and a full pull, and straighten, and then a nice firm pull, and straighten. And then with control, we'll bend the knee, give a little lift, unloop, and we'll put that down. And after the bands, do want to spread and close in the fingers with all that grip. Really want to give a stretch to the hands. Give some relief to the wrists by circling. Get some oxygen to the muscles. Relax the neck. Anytime using the weights or the bands can cause neck tension. The neck muscles will work harder to help your arms with that extra demand. We'll bring the hands forward, circle back, and circle back, thinking of relaxing the shoulders, face forward. We're going to circle the face, keep the heart lifted, keep the shoulders back, go the other direction. And then looking forward, we're going to do our 5 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. So palms forward, arms pull back, and we'll do our 5 deep breaths. And circle back, think about relaxing